SUNY Oswego's Blackfriars performs a play called Dead Man's Cell Phone.
9 members of a Mormon family were killed on the Mexican side of the U.S.-Mexico border.
And Kentucky elects a new governor, but not without requesting a recanvass of votes.
WTOP10 Nightly News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to WTOP 10 Nightly News. I'm Matt Green.
And I'm Brianna Lynn.
The Kentucky governor race, experienced a shakeup last night. Democratic Attorney General and son of former Kentucky Governor Steve Beshear, Andy Beshear, claimed victory in the Kentucky governor's race, beating current Republican Governor Matt Bevin. Beshear led Bevin by close to 5,000 votes after 100% of precincts reported in results. Bevin is asking for a recanvass.
According to Kentucky state law, a recanvass is when the votes are totaled by each county clerk and printouts are checked to make sure the numbers were accurately reported to the State Board of Elections. Bevin's campaign manager says, quote, "The people of Kentucky deserve a fair and honest election. With reports of irregularities, we are exercising the right to ensure that every lawful vote was counted," end quote. Beshear says the race was more than just red versus blue.
Tonight, voters in Kentucky sent a message loud and clear for everyone to hear. It's a message that says our elections don't have to be about right versus left. They are still about right versus wrong.
First-time political candidate Deanna Michaels will take her experience as a banker to Fulton City Hall. With all precincts reporting, Deanna held 51% of the vote. Opponents Democrat Daniel Farfaglia, Republican Ethan Parkhurst, and David Weber received 29%, 8%, and 4% respectively. Michaels will take office on January 1st of next year.
After the success of their location in Oswego, Taco Bell is expanding to DeWitt. The fast food chain is looking to build a restaurant on a portion of a vacant parking lot on Thompson Road. If the plan is approved, the restaurant would be 2,650 square feet and include a drive-through lane.
Snow is expected to hit upstate New York this Thursday and Friday night. The snowfall is a preview for what we are going to expect next week, as lake effect snow is set to slash from this weekend and into next week. The Climate Prediction Center says there is a 90% chance of colder than usual weather. Normal highs for this time of year are about 50 degrees and lows are generally above freezing. Speaking of the snow, let's take a quick look at this weather with Storm Team 10 meteorologist Jacob Rumowitz. Jacob?
Hi guys, yeah, that dreaded S word. As you can see, we already have some snow just in Canada with the nice storm system that's coming over. We have just north of Buffalo, we have some rain, and just south of Toronto, still some rain over there too. But that nice storm system that we have is actually coming our way, which is fantastic. So if we go over to the temperatures for tomorrow, our high is actually going to be in the morning as opposed to the afternoon, up in the lower 40s around the lake and in the upper 30s more inland. But as that temperature drops, we're actually going to switch over to some snow. So I'll send it back to you guys.
The theater department is hard at work as they prepare for their second show of the year, Dead Man's Cell Phone. As the show focuses on the impact of technology, Michael Jean will go behind the scenes of this production.
It's a double-edged sword. It's this weird space that we exist in where we so heavily need technology. We have so deeply rooted so much of our society around the use of technology that we can't even get places without it, you know? And I think that it becomes dangerous because we are so dependent upon it. Of course, it's a good tool.
Sean Ryan, one of the leads in the approaching play Dead Man's Cell Phone, speak his mind on the matter of technology in everyday life. The upcoming production of Dead Man's Cell Phone dives into how powerful technology is infused with our society. Showcasing here at Tyler Hall's Lab Theater, Sarah Rue's Dead Man's Cell Phone contains the topic of mortality, relationships, and covers the paradox of how technology brings us together, yet tears us apart. Amani Simmons, director, tells the significance of the play.
Dead Man's Cell Phone was definitely to highlight the human connection and the way we have kind of sort of lost that. and with the use of cell phones and technology, and sort of I kind of wanted to highlight that, but I also had wanted to highlight the false perception of life that we get through social media and stuff like that.
Other cast members shared their polarizing opinions on technology today.
I completely think technology has taken over our lives. In examples you can see is Venmo as a social media platform, and just different forms of social media being very overbearing.
I think there's so many great things that technology is doing for us that we could have never thought of achieving before in our society, and it's helped so many people.
Michael Jean reporting.
Dead Man's Cell Phone premieres at 7:30 p.m. on November 20th, and this show extends to November 23rd. You can buy your ticket at the box office in Tyler Hall or online.
Governor Cuomo signed a new law Tuesday that requires death certificates in cases of opioid overdose to specify which opioid was involved. This law will be put into effect immediately. Governor Cuomo says, quote, "This common sense law will go a great length to ensure we have the most accurate information to be able to stop this public health Scrooge once and for all," end quote. This law will allow more data to be available, which will better address the opioid crisis.
Wegmans is recalling Veggie Power Blend and Tofu Shiitake slaw products sold from its self-serve cold bars between September 29th and November 4th. The move comes just a week after the new Wegmans opened in Brooklyn. The recall is a part of a broad series of recalls from large-scale brands such as Trader Joe's, Kruger Organic, Mann's, and Del Monte due to concerns over bacteria contamination. Wegmans says its customers can return items to their service desks for a full refund.
2 victims are recovering after their car crashed into a swimming pool in Port Washington, Long Island. At 10 a.m., firefighters responded to a call from local residents who described how lucky the victims were to land in the shallow end. The victims were immediately rescued by firefighters and are currently only suffering minor injuries. The process of pulling the car out of the pool was a much longer effort, with hours of planning and 2 tow trucks.
Coming up later tonight, Scranton elects its first female mayor.
And a Mormon family was unexpectedly killed in an ambush. More on what investigators are doing to find who's responsible after the break.
Jacob Rometz, your Storm Team 10 meteorologist. We have some fun news tonight. We're talking snow, but before I get there, I just want to talk about our current conditions. Right here in Fulton, 40 degrees with a southeast wind coming out with 3 miles an hour. Same in Syracuse, right around 40 degrees. Once again, cloudy skies. Wind from the east this time, not that big of a deal. For tonight's forecast, we're going to see some showers pretty late. I'm thinking right when the sun should be coming up. We have a 40-degree low tonight, but that should stay steady throughout the night. As you just saw, some of our temperatures are already right around 40 degrees. Our wind should be 5 to 10 miles an hour from the south-southwest. And as I said, some snow. Yeah, I have bad news for you guys if you don't like the snow. So let's go ahead and take a look at this right now. This is at this is at 9 p.m. So this is this is actually right now. If we go through, we should see some precipitation starting right around 6 a.m. tomorrow just across the county, specifically Oswego. It should start raining a little bit earlier than other places. As you see, Watertown actually already seeing snow at 6 a.m. As we progress, this model run has it changing over from rain to snow in Oswego right around 10:30. I don't know how I feel about that. I think it might be a little bit later, but we'll see. And as we progress through the afternoon, this is 3 p.m. The snow should be moving out of Oswego County, but still snowing across other areas. Watertown, the snow has moved out. Syracuse, however, it's still snowing. Binghamton, like I said earlier, is still going to get some snow as well. Now, let's progress through. Right around 6:30, this is when you're going to go for dinner time. Maybe if you're going out to eat tonight, who knows, could be the kid's birthday. You start to see some lake effect snow maybe coming off the backside. That's even more fun, if I had to say. All right, once again, this is Friday morning, even some more lake effect snow. Now, your lake effect snow accumulations are going to be scattered out throughout the region, and I'm not expecting to see too much snow accumulations from the lake effect event itself. However, if we go forward, this is our temperature forecast. We have about 36 degrees in Pulaski, 38 in Oswego, And as we go through, you should see the temperatures rising right at tomorrow morning and then dropping as we go throughout the day. This is 32 in Pulaski, 36 in Oswego, so this should be cold enough to support some snow. And as we go through, like I said, for snow accumulations, I'm not thinking too much, maybe about a coating to about maybe 1 to 3 inches as you move inland. But like I said, Thursday, we're going to see, so this is for tomorrow's forecast, it's going to start off as rain and then change to snow with a high around 43 degrees, but that high temperature should be in the morning, winds coming from the northwest at 10 to 15 miles an hour. And like I said earlier, we're going to see some snow accumulation, around an inch, maybe a bit less right around Lake Ontario, and then once you go further inland, you should see some snow, probably right around 1 to 3 inches as I'm thinking. So now let's go look at our nice 7-day forecast. Like I said, Thursday, 43-degree high, some rain changing to snow. Friday, we could actually see some lake effect snow showers. Saturday, Sunday, weekend looking pretty dry. High around 50 degrees on Sunday with a chance of rain. Monday, Tuesday, even Wednesday, more snow. I'm sorry if you don't like the snow. I do, so I'm going to have a blast. But look at those high temperatures, 35, 32, and 30 degrees. That's pretty cold. But hey, I don't know. I like the snow. We'll enjoy it. All right, I'll catch you guys after the break.
Welcome back to WTOP 10 Nightly News. The first independent female mayor of Scranton, Pennsylvania was elected Tuesday. Paige Cognetti is a registered Democrat but ran as an independent Cognetti and is now finishing term of former mayor Bill Courtwright after entering a plea deal back in July on federal charges of bribery, conspiracy, and extortion, and was forced to resign. Cognetti won the election with 36% of the votes. According to unofficial results from Lackawanna County, she plans to run for re-election in 2021.
November is National Diabetes Month, and while there is no cure, there are ways to manage it. Mary Maloney explains in today's Health Minute.
It's a disease that impacts more than 30 million people, and officials say 1 in 4 Americans don't know they have it. Diabetes. It's caused by high levels of blood sugar resulting from defects in insulin production. According to the CDC, it's the 7th leading cause of death in the U.S. Diabetes types 1 and 2 are the most common forms. 9 out of 10 diabetes patients are diagnosed with type 2 or adult onset diabetes. That's where your body doesn't produce enough insulin or use it correctly and is unable to keep blood sugar at normal levels. With type 1, also called juvenile diabetes, your body makes little to no insulin. And while there isn't a cure yet, you can live a healthy life by managing your lifestyle. A person can lower the chances of developing type 2 diabetes by losing weight, maintain regular physical activity, and follow a healthy diet. Keep an eye on possible symptoms, such as frequent urination, excessive thirst, and slow healing wounds. People with diabetes are at higher risk for serious health complications like heart disease and stroke, so it's important to maintain your regular checkups. For today's Health Minute, I'm Mary Maloney.
Diabetes impacts more than 29 million people each year. For more information, visit your primary healthcare provider.
It's National Stress Awareness Day. Everyone suffers from stress from time to time, and it is important to know how to manage your stress. Stress comes from many different factors such as family, work, and even your health. It is important to minimize these negative causes in your everyday life. Some ways to minimize stress are exercising, relaxation, and eating healthy. Helping control your stress allows the body to cope with factors that contribute to the feelings of stress and anxiety.
For the first time in nearly 20 years, scientists have discovered a new strain of HIV. More than 37 million people have been infected with HIV worldwide. HIV has several different strains and has the ability to change and mutate over time. HIV can be transmitted through infected blood and fluids. Researchers hope by identifying new viruses, it will ensure new pandemics are stopped.
Chinese President Xi Jinping and French President Emmanuel Macron signed a pact recommitting to the 2015 Paris Agreement. President Jinping reiterated both sides are determined to push forth the Paris Climate Accords in response to climate change. The Trump administration announced on Monday they would formally begin withdrawing the U.S. from the Paris Climate Accord. Macron and Jinping agreed to work together on a marine waste, particularly to reduce plastic and plastic particles in the world's oceans.
The campaign for the December general elections in the UK has begun. Prime Minister Boris Johnson launched his Conservative Party's campaign with a rally in Birmingham. He hopes to gain more supports and continue moving forward on the Brexit push. During the rally, Johnson excited his supporters with promises of a government that will build a better country and will get Parliament working again.
An American family is killed in Mexico after an ambush. 2 of the victims are 8-month-old babies. The question now is, what happened and why? Daryl Forges has the details.
I think a lot of us are just speechless.
Leah Staden at a loss for words after learning that several of her family members were killed in Mexico in an ambush.
My sister could actually see the smoke from her house, and they heard the gunshots.
9 people were killed, several others injured, when the group was traveling between their family's ranch and Chihuahua for a wedding near Bavispe, Sonora. A total of 3 cars making the trip, all 3 ambushed by criminal groups who shot and burned at least one of the vehicles with the victims inside. 2 of the victims, 8-month-old babies.
It is a regretful disgrace because innocent children lost their lives, and we'll do what is appropriate in these cases, and it is our obligation to gather all the information to see the causes.
The gruesome attack also caught the attention of President Trump, who tweeted about the ambush, saying, "This is a time for Mexico, with the help of the United States, to wage war on the drug cartels and wipe them off the face of the earth. We merely await a call from your great new president."
Mexico has to really knuckle down and go after some of these cartels and stop this escalating level of violence.
The victims are members of a Mormon community. The FBI has offered to assist Mexico with the investigation. 7 of the injured children are being transported to a hospital in Tucson, Arizona for further treatment. I'm Daryl Forges reporting.
Authorities are investigating the possibility of the killings being motivated by a past conflict between the family and the cartels. Coming up in sports, Nick Ketter.
Hey Nick, can you give us a quick preview?
I sure can. Coming up after the break, 2 Oswego teams prepare for big weekends, college football playoff rankings are out, and a groundbreaking deal was struck in the women's soccer world. Don't go anywhere. Sports is next. Welcome back to WTOP 10 Nightly News. I'm Nick Ketter, and this is your sports update. To the mats, following an 8th place finish last weekend in Ithaca, the Oswego State wrestling team heads to Wilkes-Barre on Saturday for the Ned McKinley Tournament at King's College. The Lakers will look to rally behind junior Christian Germugula, who took home the title at 165 pounds at the Ithaca Invitational Tournament. The Lakers are strong in that weight class, as Germugula met his freshman teammate Charlie Grigas in the title match last Saturday. The McKinley Tournament starts at 9 a.m. on Saturday. To the track, the Oswego State cross-country teams are starting to prepare for the NCAA Atlantic Regionals following mid-pack finishes at last weekend's SUNYAC Championships. The women's team posted a 6th place finish in New Paltz, while the men's team finished in 9th. The women were led by sophomore Hannah Herdick, who finished top 25 in the 6K. The men were led by freshman Gabriel Winters Bona. Bona finished first of the Lakers with a time of 26:40. The Lakers' next meet is the NCAA Atlantic Regional, which begins November 16th at St. Lawrence University. While staying within the college realm, the NCAA College Football Playoff rankings were released Tuesday, but not without some controversy. The Week 11 rankings have Ohio State in the top spot at 8-0, LSU 2nd, Alabama 3rd, Penn State 4th, and defending national champions Clemson at 5th at 9-0. The College Football Playoff Committee defends its decision, citing Clemson's 1-point victory over North Carolina as a factor in the decision. If Clemson can't make the top 4 in the coming weeks, the Tigers would be in danger of missing the college football playoffs for the first time in 5 seasons. To the soccer field, Australia Soccer and FIFA have agreed on a landmark deal allowing equal pay and accommodation for women's soccer players. The Westfield Matildas Soccer Club reached an agreement which will allow the team to equally split commercial revenue with the men's Caltech Socceroos. World Cup participants will also earn a higher percentage of the revenue. And the Football Federation Australia Chairman Chris Niku commented on the historic deal. Niku said, "For the first time, player remuneration will directly be tied to the revenues generated by our national teams. This will create sustainable financial model that incentivizes players and FAA to collaborate and grow the commercial pie together. The deal is a huge step towards eliminating the sports pay gap." Moving on to the ice, the New York Islanders took on the Ottawa Senators last night. The Islanders have won 9 straight up to this point. A rough start for them, though, a turnover, and Jean-Gabriel Pageau puts the Senators up 1 right away. But the Islanders would jump right back into it. Seconds later, the Islanders throw it in. It's Devon Toews. Cale Clutterbuck scores it behind Anderson. Then Cole Bardreau charges. He gets tripped. And that is going to be a penalty shot for Cole Bardreau. This is his first game, and he scores. That is his first NHL goal. He's going to remember that one-on-one there. Great stuff from Bardreau. In the third period, though, Cale Clutterbuck drives, dishes it to Casey Cizikas, and Cizikas puts it home. The Islanders go up 3-1 on the shorthanded goal from Cizikas. Finally, a minute later, Matthew Barzal rockets that one over the shoulder of Anderson, and the Islanders win this one 4-1. Islanders win, and that's their 10th straight victory, guys.
Awesome.
Wow.
Thank you, Ketter. So, today is whiteouts this weekend. So honestly, I'm pretty excited for some D3 hockey this weekend. It's on a Friday this year, which is a little different, but, still excited. How about you guys?
Well, it's going to be a big game. A lot of the players are excited. We've got to talk to them throughout the week.
And today is also National Nacho Day, so we're excited about that.
True.
Awesome. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Be sure to stay tuned for Weatherwise.
Yes, thank you so much for watching. Have a great night.